Okay, so let's give this a try. Oh, did you hear that crunch? Delicious. You definitely taste the butter along with the buttercream and the sea salt. Definitely must try this at home. Hi, my name is Anna. I've been baking for the past 20 years. I've developed a passion for baking from my Italian parents. So join me for some delicious, quick, authentic recipes. I have hundreds to choose from and to share with you. So whether you're just starting out or have an interest in baking, follow me and we'll get inspired. Benvenuti. Today we're making pasticcini. It is a cookie that we make here at Bliss Gourmet. And today I'm going to show you how to make it at home. So for this recipe, you'll need flour, butter, sugar, vanilla, milk, icing sugar, and chocolate. I will have the full recipe at the end. So we're going to start by warming up our milk very slightly, just so we can dissolve the sugar. So we're going to combine the milk and the sugar. Okay, so all we want is the sugar to dissolve. We really don't want the milk to get hot. So now we're going to cream our butter. So we'll just cream that for about a minute. Okay, so we're going to add our milk and sugar. So you're going to put it on the first or the second. We don't want it very high because you don't want the milk to kind of splatter everywhere. Okay, so now we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Give that a mix. So your butter is softer. And don't worry, it's not all incorporated. You want the butter to get just a bit soft with your milk. You're going to add your flour. We'll put on second speed. We want a softer dough rather than a buttery shortbread dough. Do you see how creamy that is? Okay, so your cookie dough is ready. So it just has to be a little bit softer. This way it's pipeable, so you can pipe it and without any effort. Okay, so I have a piping bag here, and what you want to do is just remove the tip. And we're going to insert one of our floury tips. You can go with a medium or large, but I've decided to go with a bit medium. Remember to fold your bag over your hand, like so. This way, your bag stays nice and clean. So we're going to start by filling your bag. And I also, a little bit of a tip is never fill your piping bag all the way, because you want to have control of your piping bag while you're piping. And if it's too full, then you're going to have a difficult time. There we go. See, what I do is not only I fill it halfway, but then I kind of break it, like separate it right in the center, so I have better control. I have a tray with parchment paper, and we're going to start by piping a C. Don't worry if your cookie dough sticks, it'll just put back in place. A little bit of water, and that'll release so nicely. And then I'm going to put 3 across. Yes, just go right even in the center, a bit fuller. So what I do sometimes also is I put a bit of cookie dough right there, so your parchment paper doesn't come back with you when you drop your cookie. There you go. So we're ready to bake. We're going to bake this for about 12 minutes or 15, depending, at 350. Okay, so our oven is ready. I'm going to pop this in the oven. Okay, so your pasticcini are ready. So now we're going to make our buttercream. I've got butter in a bowl, so we're going to cream our butter till it's just a bit softer before we add our icing sugar. So we're going to add our icing sugar. So start off at the first speed until it gets all incorporated. Once your icing sugar is mixed in well, then you can increase the speed. Otherwise, you're going to have icing sugar everywhere. So now we'll add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to mix that till it becomes nice and fluffy. And you'll notice that it's going to be lighter in color. So we're going to scrape again, and you'll notice the buttercream is getting a little bit lighter in color as well. Another tip, when you're scraping your bowl, you'll notice that it's still a little bit darker. That's also an indication that your buttercream is not quite ready. There we go, your buttercream is ready. Look how nice and fluffy that is. So now we're ready to fill our pasticcini. So I have a piping bag, and we're going to fill our bag. Again, just turn over the, fold over the bag. This way you keep it nice and clean. Now with your bag, just remove any excess from your spatula. I don't like to fill my bag all the way. I like to have control in my bag. So once you have your bag nice and filled, we're going to cut a tip off. So you want a little bit thicker, but not too thick, right? So that's what we're gonna do. Discard your piece. So you could do it this way and place it on top. That's how I do it. Just easier. And it doesn't matter if some of the cookies are bigger or smaller. Once they're filled and dipped, they're just as good. I like buttercream, so my cookies get a little bit more buttercream than usual. But again, sometimes you have a larger cookie. Just put the smaller one on top. It doesn't matter. Once you dip it again, it just looks so nice. And then also what I like doing too is if you're going to a baby shower or a wedding, you kind of get colored chocolate and dip them. I have some larger ones. So if you're going to do a dessert for company that you're having over, a dinner party, you could do a bit larger and just have that or 2 of them. You could have a couple of them on the plate, so that also is a nice dessert as well. So there you have it, your pasticcini are all filled. Now we're going to chocolate dip them. I have some melted chocolate that I've melted on a double boiler, and also I'm going to garnish with some coarse sea salt. Okay, so all you do is dip on one side and dip another side. You could just shake off the excess. If you want, press it down. These are not only delicious, but they look so beautiful. So I've got my sea salt. you like, you can dip a little further than just the tips, but I'm just doing the tips. And they only take about 5 minutes or so just for the chocolate to dry. And then what I'll do is I'll show you how to garnish them, put them on a plate, on a platter. That makes them so much more elegant. Look at that. So if you wait a little longer, you kind of see you can see your sea salt there. Okay, so this one's ready. So we're going to put them on a nice serving platter. There you have it. What a beautiful display. I also wanted to show you that I've made some larger pasticcini that you can serve to your guest, 2 on a plate. That's also a nice idea, but otherwise you could make them small into miniature and anyone can have more than one. So if you enjoyed this recipe, like and subscribe, and I'll have the full recipe at the end. Look at that, beautiful. Look at that butter with the buttercream, chocolate. Okay, so let's give this a try. Oh, did you hear that crunch? Delicious. You definitely taste the butter along with the buttercream and the sea salt. Definitely must try this at home.